I came on the Times Square billboard and I want to tell you about how it happened. It's with a brand called Topmate, and I was just researching on these different webinar platforms, but they're very expensive. So I toggled on Topmate, and I'd already known about this platform much before. So I saw that they also have a webinar option. And I thought, okay, this is very cool, especially because you also have a pay what you want option. So while the webinar is free, if somebody wants to pay for it, they can. I hopped on and I did that webinar. There were like over 1,200 registrations. 550 people plus turned up. Like there were 600ish, but there were 550 throughout and 450 even after the time went by. And I could also upload my digital product there. So if anybody wants to buy my Medium guide, it was on Topmate with a discount for the webinar users. That was pretty cool, and I was really impressed. And I told Shubham, who's the owner, that I have been using creator softwares for 3 years now, okay, and 2 years very actively. But it's mostly all these softwares are made in America or somewhere in Europe, and I'm not really seeing like more and more like Indian startups or whatever software companies doing such cool things for creators. Maybe because we're a small segment or something, I don't know. And this was a really seamless experience and super enjoyable as well. Yeah, because I was so impressed. And I wrote a LinkedIn post about it and I just mentioned Topmate in the end. That because I genuinely wanted to appreciate them, and I'm not the kind that I want to be paid to promote something. If I'm so happy with it anyway and I'm using it, and I can give it credits and use my influence as like an influencer, then I will do it because I genuinely mean it, right? Shubham was just like, okay, like we're very grateful to you. Do you want to be on the Times Square ad? And I was like, wait, what? Who's gonna say no to this? And I told my husband, and he's like, what? How could you do that? Like, not how could you do that in the sense that it's bad, but like that's really cool. And then he's asking me, but what are they getting out of it? It's not like you're some known face or something. And I said, yeah, but like it's not just known faces who do campaigns anymore. And it's just really cool. And he was so happy to me. And then I told my mom, who was like very typical Indian, that okay, don't tell more people, nazar lag jati hai type, which is like you can get an evil, what is it, evil intention on you. I don't know how to translate nazar in English. Yeah, and then they told me like there's a theme of this campaign, which is that who are the mentors who've helped you grow and do the cool thing that you're doing in life today. I said, okay, like can it be from family, because I think everything does start from home. And then obviously the first person I thought of was my Nana ji, because he is like the greatest soul that I know of, and he passed away a year and a half ago. And he really influenced me in ways. And even though we weren't directly so talkative and spending time, because I spent way more time with my Nani, but just the life that he led, right? He was in the army and then he joined CRPF. He built his wealth with so much of hard work, and it's really commendable. And also, as a senior officer, he was never putting down his subordinates. He was so nice to everyone under him that he never made somebody feel like they are below them or something. And because with power, you can misuse that power so easily. You can, if you're up there, you can make people below you feel completely terrible. But he was so nice and so helpful, and he tried to help people as much as he can. He also like lived his life with a lot of integrity, so he was a lot into saving and investing, and I've seen that growing up, which is why I've been very frugal growing up as well. That if I earn money, I'm going to save and invest first and then spend later, right? So I've been this way since the beginning. I think he just impacted me so much for the person that he was. And then when he was 70, he got a brain stroke, and he um got like half paralyzed, and he could not talk, and he was like that for like 5 years. So it just felt really bad that somebody who's lived his life with so much of dignity and respect, and who loves food so much, cannot talk anymore, cannot walk anymore, and was just like pretty much handicapped, right? Like imagine being a food lover and you can't even convey it if you want a glass of water. So every day was like a guessing game for my Nani that if like does he want breakfast or does he want and it was really sad to see him in a state because all our lives we taught that do good things and good things will happen to you. But then here there was somebody who did the best for everyone, for his family and his co-workers, his seniors, his juniors, but they were suffering. And they were suffering so badly. So I think my belief in God sort of faded that time because I just thought that what is the point? And by the way, fine, like crying on camera is so uncool. So just 1 second. So yeah, so like what is the point of being so good from your heart if that's what's gonna happen to you? Because I can't imagine what it was like for 5 years when you could not even talk. And that ultimately became into cancer. And then anyway, so the bottom line is that yeah, his is also the first cremation that I saw, and that again impacted me because I thought that you stay on earth for so many years and then you just go, like you vanish into thin air, and that's insane. Like it's something we know, but reality hit very hard that you just go. And I just thought that I'm not going to spend my life being a nobody and doing nothing and living like a purposeless fuck. I will make something out of it. And because I'm gonna go, I will. So will you. Someday we all will. And I think that entire period really brought in a shift with me. And even now, when I'm doing things, I'm constantly thinking that how would have he felt? How would have he behaved? And how would have he dealt with things? And one of my dreams is to buy the car that he wanted to buy, and he didn't, because he said that if my kids drive normal cars, then why should I buy a luxury car? So, so yeah. So he's definitely my first motivation of being financially independent, and also like I don't even know how the video will look. So if I'm looking too bad, I'm not gonna post it. Yeah, I do use laughter as my defense mechanism of pretending that I'm not crying, but obviously you can see I'm crying. And anyway, moving on. So the second person is actually my Nani. She literally talks about my work the most. Like she'll talk about it nearly every week. Still doesn't know how I make a living, but like she's very proud of me when she sees numbers. So and she's also like my biggest cheerleader, and she'll always like try to motivate me. And I think I am the closest to her in my life. So I've had like a huge chunk of my childhood with her. And then I thought that okay, so the third set is obviously my parents, because they've always believed in me and they've been really chill that do what you want to with your life because you have to be happy, and you have to be on your feet, but just don't like keep stressing about it so much. You have to be happy at every step because you won't be this young again, and responsibilities increase when you grow up, all of that. And then obviously I thought of Jay, who's my husband. Because our first week, like, sorry, wait, not our first week, a week into being self-employed, I met him for a date. And I told him that, yeah, I was working with whatever company, I quit my job, and I'm a freelance writer now because I thought I'm going to be a freelance writer. I didn't know I'm going to be like a full-fledged entrepreneur kinds. So, and he was like, yeah, okay, cool, because his work is entirely different. He doesn't even work on the laptop. So our fields are completely different. And it was strange because as I keep sharing such big dreams with him, which I don't because I think I'll be called crazy, I could actually share them with him and he'd be like, yeah, cool, like you can do it, and why can you not do it? Why are you putting yourself down? Why would you talk like that? And you got this, babe. And he was like such a cheerleader, and he just believed in me blindly, and he still believes in me blindly. When I told him that there's a campaign that maybe showcase on Times Square, and he was and I told him that but I don't want to get too excited about it because what if it doesn't happen? And he's like, no, why would it not happen? You're good, you've done so well for yourself and you deserve it. and it just feels good to have that person who you can share such crazy dreams with. Like I've told him which car I want to buy, the things I want to buy, the things I want to do for others, and how I want to give back, and so many things, and what I see myself doing in 5 years. And he just says that, yeah, I know you'll do it. I have full belief in you, and yeah, so it's just really nice to have somebody you can share your crazy dreams with, and also your crazy and weird side with, and they will just believe in you even when you don't believe in yourself. So I drafted this, and I also wrote two of my mentors' names, but it couldn't make it to the campaign because it is only 15 seconds. But it's actually Warikoo and Papa CJ. I really, really aspire to be somewhat of what Warikoo is, Ankur Warikoo, for those of you who don't know. He is not just a great entrepreneur or a creatorpreneur, but he's also a really good human. And to be that dignified and humble at that stage, I mean, the first time that we met, just between me sitting on the table and him walking from the door, some 3 people met him. So he is famous. He's really good. I love the life that he leads. I love how hard he works. I really look up to him, and I really appreciate and I'm very grateful that he's there for me. He is a text away for when I'm scared, when I have questions, when I want somebody to review something, when I want advice. And he's also somebody who'll see my tweet and tell me that, bro, stop doing this. So I really appreciate him, and I really appreciate him taking out time to help me. There's also Papa CJ, who I actually know because he's also my uncle's batchmate from school, but we connected about 3 years ago on LinkedIn, and he is the most brutally honest person who will tell you are wrong, and then they will cheer you up by making you laugh because he is a comedian. That is his jam. And he's somebody who keeps me really grounded. He is that person who will say that, bro, you don't need so much money to be happy. You just need enough that you know you have enough. Like, why do you kids psych out about money and dream about it way too much and give it so much a priority? Because you just need to have enough. And by the end of it, you're my age. What matters is that you're spending time with your parents who are aging, and taking time off and all of that. Whatever you're doing right now, like, so he keeps me really grounded when I'm getting way too ambitious, and he also gives me a direction when I'm feeling lost. So yeah, these are the few people who've helped me be where I am, and I drafted a document about it. They picked up my family, and they showcased it on Times Square. I wish I was there to witness it in person. I'm sure it must be a surreal feeling to see yourself, but yeah, maybe someday. Again, I think something I'll tell you is that I've had plenty of wins in the past 2 years. I've spoken to people who I never thought I could speak to. I've achieved milestones I didn't think I could. I've launched an entire business which again I think never thought I could, because I don't have anyone in my family doing that. And everything I've learned is from books and YouTube and Twitter. It's like when these big things happen, it feels good, but it just feels good for a second. I'm not joking. And yeah, it is what it is. So with these big wins, it's important to celebrate every small win, but the wins that look so big to you will just go in a second. And that is where my belief of impermanence really comes in, that when I'm falling, I feel that, okay, this is impermanent, don't dwell into it. And that's what keeps me going. And when I'm rising, I just think of that, okay, this is also impermanent, and I have to keep working hard, not let anything get to my head. And that's what keeps my feet on the ground. So yeah, that is the story. Thank you for watching it this far, and thank you for being a part of my journey.